Yo everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Steins 0. Last time we were searching for this song that everyone knows except for Okuin pretty much, and turns out the start, as far back as the trail goes of people who knew this song, we ended up at Okabe's mother. Wow, so Yuki's a friend of yours? After hearing the shocking news that Kagari's song traced its roots all the way back to my mom, we went back to the lab. It would have been embarrassing to call my mom in front of Mayu and Kagari, so I went out up to the roof in the cold to call home. When I asked my mom if she was going to a cooking class, she seemed surprised that I didn't know. I see, that song, huh? I had no idea I was singing it. That's kind of embarrassing. Where did you learn that song? Where? Like, you heard it on the radio, or maybe you heard someone else singing it? It was you. Huh? You used to sing it. What? What? What are you talking about? That's impossible. You remember when you were in middle school and Mayu got really depressed, right? When her grandma died? Everyone's really worried, but one day she suddenly got better. But then you started going crazy. What was that all about? You were a bad scientist? Please stop. Was there anything in this world more terrifying than hearing about your own dark history from your mom? When you started being a bad what's-it, you would sing that song whenever you took a bath. You sung it so often, I guess I learned it. I sang it? That's right, you don't remember? Oh, a customer's here, bye! It's going to rain soon, so come back home quick. Seriously? So, Okuin, how'd it go? Did you find anything out? I explained what I heard from my mom, even though I really didn't understand it myself. What? Yeah, they were surprised. I was more surprised than anybody. I was so surprised that I was actually feeling pretty calm. So, what does this all mean? What did it mean? Kagari... Whoa, what's with the weird tiled background? Kagari had learned the song from Mayuri in the future. Mayuri had learned it in the present from Suzuha. Suzuha had learned it from Yuki in the future. Yuki had learned it from my mom. And my mom had learned it from me. Did I ever sing? Mayushi doesn't remember. If it was a popular song, maybe I would have hummed it, but... No luck, I can't remember. What do we do? We're out of clues, aren't we? Mayu looked like she was about to cry. Kagari gave her a gentle hug. Please calm down, Mayu. Okay, wait, does the fact that you sang it when Mayu was depressed give you any kind of clue? I don't know. I didn't really do anything special. All I did was go see Mayu when she was visiting her grandmother's grave. That's when Hoin Kiyoma, now sealed away, had been born. So, should we go to her grave then? You might remember something. Was that possible? After all this, I want to see this through to the end. Okuin, Mayushi wants you to do it too. Okay, let's go. Remember, it's going to rain in a minute. The sun is about to set, so we decided to go the next day. That's probably a good call. The next day, the sky had been cloudy since morning. I met with Kagari and Mayuri at this spot near the cemetery where her grandmother was buried. Also, completely off topic, but it's been a while since we really heard about Maho and Amadeus. I mean, Amadeus isn't a thing in this world line, but still. It's weird. I met with Kagami and Mayuri at a spot near the cemetery where her grandmother was buried. It looks like it's going to rain, huh? I didn't bring an umbrella. The weather said it wasn't going to rain. She didn't either. And I never bought an umbrella when it wasn't raining. In other words, nobody had an umbrella. Let's finish this before it starts raining. Before the rain starts. Okay. Your grandma would be happy you came, I bet. Yeah. And Kagari's here too. Today too. Also, you said your grandma? Should it... I don't... See, this is what I'm not sure now. Should that be my grandma? Would be happy you came, I bet. Oh well. Mayuri. Okay, let's hurry. There's a lot Mayuri wants to tell grandma. Yeah, let's hurry. We finally arrived at the cemetery. The skies were getting dark and it felt like it could rain at any minute. We finished cleaning the grave and each of us put our hands together in front of it. Then Mayuri sat down and started talking to her grandma. Kagari and I watched her from a short distance away. Then Kagari came in and then she was so surprised she fell down and went BANG! Well, she was really scared and really worried, but I had to go to work. So I said to Okun and Dao, take care of Kagari and left the lab. But I was so worried I thought my heart was going to burst. Okabe, Kagari whispered to me, concerned. Oh, don't worry about Mayuri. That's kind of like a ritual. A ritual? Yeah, she loved her grandmother a lot, and when her grandmother died, it was like she lost her soul. For about 6 months, she wouldn't say a word to anyone. She just came here and stood and stand all day. It was like she was praying to be with her grandma. And you brought her back, didn't you? How did you know? Mayu told me. That girl. Oh, come on. It's cool. Hoin Kiyoma, the mad scientist. Stop it. I was desperate for any idea I could think of. Looking back, it was the right answer, but it was still really embarrassing. I used every bit of knowledge I could scrape up from anime and video games to try and keep Mayuri's soul from leaving us. I won't let anyone take you away. But Mayuri's my hostage. She's a sacrifice for my human experiments. There's no escaping from me. Mayuri, she's your hostage. I guess I'm stuck here. Huh. No. I think that's a wonderful story. It is? It is. Ah. It started raining. I looked up just in time for a drop to fall on my cheek. A cold rain started to come down. I don't think it would start so soon. What should we do? We just got here and we hadn't done anything yet. I wanted to at least do a little research before we left. Let's find a place where we can get out of the rain. We can get umbrellas at the convenience store if we need them. Okay. Mayuri, let's head back to the station for now. Huh? Wow, it's raining! The rain started to come down harder as we ran towards the station. I'm soaked! We should have brought the umbrellas first, huh? We need to take a shower, we'll catch a cold. I know, Kagari. Want to come to Mayuri's house? We can take a shower together. Huh? Mayuri turned around and suddenly stopped. I stopped too. I looked back and saw that Kagari wasn't keeping up with us. She was standing some distance away with a blank look on her face. She was facing us, but she seemed to be staring off into the distance. Kagari, what's wrong? I can hear it. Her voice was flat and emotionless. It was like she was a different person than the one that had been there a moment before. What can you hear? A voice. I hear a voice. Mayuri started to walk towards Kagari. I have to go. And suddenly, Kagari ran through the puddles of water and out into the street. A truck was coming. Mayuri screamed, and my body moved on its own. I yanked Mayuri's shoulder down and knocked her to the ground so that she couldn't run out on her own. And then I used the momentum to run out into the street myself. This game is mean. A long time ago, the air wasn't dirty like it is now, so no one cared if you went out in the rain. When Mami was your age, Kagari, she loved the rain. She ran around outside with Ocarine. When you run in the rain, it's like you're swimming in the sea. Ocarine and Mami were fish, swimming in the sea, the only two fish in the world. It was so much fun. When was that? After I'd been separated from Big Sis Suzuha in 1998, I was locked somewhere for a long time. When did I escape? Why did I escape? I wanted to see Mami all of a sudden. That was the only reason. At the place where she was kept, Kagari was waiting for the professor to come like always, when she happened to look outside and see it was raining. When she smiled the water through the window, she remembered what her mom had said. And the next thing she'd know, she'd taken off the headset she was wearing. No one had expected it, so escaping was easy. She ripped off the cords on her arms and used the little window to go outside. And then she snuck into the back of a truck that was just leaving the park lot. The facility she'd been kept in must have been deep within the mountains. After hours of shaking, the truck finally reached a town somewhere. When the truck stopped, she jumped out and wandered in the rain. With nowhere to go, she didn't have a destination in mind. She wanted to see her mom, but didn't know where she was. And even if she did find her, her mom would have been younger than Kagari, and wouldn't know who she was. She ran away from the facility on impulse, but she had no money, and there was nothing she could do, except wait for the professor to come find her. Until then, she wanted to get wet in the rain. The rain kept falling for a long time. Her clothes got wet, but she didn't care. It's so weird that the rain doesn't hurt. The rain in this area didn't sting when it landed on your skin. It was warm. For the first time, Kagari learned that nature could do things other than hurt you. There was life in this rain, and that's how it felt to her. The rain of this era was alive. It was totally different than the dead rain of the future. Kagari kept walking, enjoying the feeling of being surrounded by living rain. How long had she walked? When her legs finally started to get tired, she sat down at a bench with a roof over it. It was a trolley platform. It was unmanned, without even a ticket station. She sat down and looked up at the sky. The rain was still falling. I'm sure God doesn't like this rain. Why? Oh. He probably likes the dead rain better than the living rain. Otherwise, I can't explain why the rain in the future is dead. No, that's horribly depressing. The dead rain sure didn't seem better than the living rain to Kagari. But there was one thing she was sure of. In the future, where Mom was, the rain was dead. When she saw Mom again, the rain would be dead. So she wasn't really mad at God. Are you lost? A boy was standing next to the bench. He was the same age as Kagari, or maybe a little younger. He was holding an umbrella, but the area below his knees was soaking wet. He must have walked in the rain for a long time. Kagari said nothing as he sat down next to her. He looked tired and in pain. Me too. The boy talked to her in a voice that was a whisper. What he talked about, she couldn't remember. But he seemed to be in so much pain, as if he was carrying the weight of the whole world's sadness on his shoulders. Why had he talked to her when they'd never met before? Why had he decided to open up to Kagari? Strangely, it didn't bother her. She was the same. She was the same as he was. And strangely, she realized something. There were things in this world that you couldn't do. There are things in this world that you just couldn't change. There were things in this world where all you can do was watch them slip through your fingers. You couldn't give up on them, but you had no choice but to give up. She felt that despair. Maybe the rain had brought the two of them together. There's so many people in the world, and yet the two of them had no one they could talk to. So maybe the rain had brought them together. The living rain, the warm rain, the gentle rain. Ocarina and Mami were fish, swimming in the sea, the only two fish in the world. Mami had looked so happy when she told that story, but it sounded sad to Kagari, because the world was so big, and it was just the two of them alone. It would be lonely and sad to have no one else there. That's what she thought. But now she understood how Mom felt. Just a little. Just two fish, alone in the world. But that was different than being totally alone. No matter what else, there was someone next to you who felt the same way. It was lonely, but she was sure it wasn't that lonely. That's what she felt at the bottom of the sea of living rain. And I guess that's how Okabe learned the song. There was nothing Kagari could do for the boy, but she felt like he needed that song. The next thing she knew, the boy was gone. The rain's not stopping, huh? I've been looking for you. Come on, let's go. What's wrong? I have to go. She took off the professor's hand and ran off into the street through the pouring rain. And then she saw a truck splashing up water from the puddles as it came bound towards her. I'm alive? Kagari woke up and realized she was in a hospital bed. Mayu was looking down at her with eyes swollen bright red. Ocarina, Kagari's awake. Oh, Ocarina's okay as well. That's a relief. You was hit by a truck. You weren't hurt, but you passed out. So we called an ambulance just in case. You don't have an insurance card, so the bills are probably going to be crazy. How does it matter? It's the only thing we could do. I'm just glad you're safe, Kagari. Ocarina saved you at the last second. Moshi thought you were both dead. Moshi thought... Don't cry, Mayuri. Okay. Oh, That's right. I kind of remember Okabe jumped out to save me. I'm sorry. I don't know what was wrong with me. Thanks. No, I'm just glad you're safe. In a fit of emotion, Mayuri left on Kagari. I'm so glad, Kagari. I was really worried. No, that wasn't right. Kagari finally understood everything. That wasn't right. That wasn't Mayuri. Yes, that's right. This was Mami. I finally got to meet you. Sorry, just the sun reversed. Now it was Kagari's turn to give Mayuri a big hug. Huh? Mami? Kagari... No, Mayuri's not your Mami. You're Kagari's Mami. She couldn't stop herself from talking like a little girl. All the last 10 years vanished and Kagari was once again a small child. Kagari, your memories are back? Uncle Ocarine? Yeah, I remember it all now. I'm Mayuri Shina's daughter. My name is Kagari. But you're older than me, Kagari. And Mayuri never, had a baby or anything. Mami, I'm from the future. In the future, you adopted me when I was an orphan. Mayuri did? That's right. You were the one who gave me a reason to live. You sent me to the safest place you can think of, so then I wouldn't be in danger. The safest place? The past. You probably thought that if I lived in a time where Japan was at peace, I could be safe. But I still missed you. I couldn't find you here. No matter how safe it is, I didn't want to live without you. Kagari clung to Mayuri on the soft bed and cried for a long time. At first, Mayuri was confused, but she eventually hugged her back gently. I'm sorry. Must have been so hard. You must have been so lonely. You were sad for so long because of me, weren't you? I'm sorry. The doctors and nurses must be looking at this, being really confused. And that's how I, Kagari Shira, got all my memories back. The next several months were wonderful. Every day I would come to the lab and play with Mami and her friends. They were all wonderful people. There was never a moment where something fun wasn't happening. Mami especially tried to spend as much time with me as possible. We ate together, we'd go shopping together, or sometimes just walk around with no goal in mind. The normal life of everything I ever wanted. The voice I heard from before vanished as I spent more time with her. Mami always smiled, and she always seemed so happy to hear what I had to say. I was so happy. We had a lot of sleepovers too, at the lab, at Mami's house, at Luca's house. We stayed up late eating snacks and talking, and then I'd sleep in the same futon as Mami. We both whispered that song that she told me brought us together. And it did. When I was little, Mami taught me this song. She learned it from Big Sis Suzaha, and Big Sis Suzaha learned it from Yuki, and Yuki learned it from Uncle Okarine's mom, and Uncle Okarine's mom learned it from Uncle Ocarine, and I don't know for sure. But if that was true, it was wonderful. I talked a lot more with Mami. About school, about the lab, about Uncle Ocarine, about the future and love, all kinds of things. One day she said this to me. Hey, Kagari, Mayuri had an idea. Maybe this song is a song to make the person you love feel better. They lost their most important treasure, and they got so sad they finally just want to sleep. No matter how much you shake them, they won't wake up. That's how sad they are. But that treasure isn't really gone. It's actually so close they could reach out and touch it. But they don't realize it's close. All they could do is sleep. But really, they're waiting for someone to wake them up. Because that person is right next to them. You're not gone at all. They're not gone at all. I don't know when, but I know that someday they'll wake up. That's what I think that song is. And Mommy looked up at me and smiled. Her eyes seemed so clear and calm as she gazed at the moonlight coming in through the curtains. It was the first time I'd seen a pretty colour. I'd seen such a pretty colour. But when I thought back, I actually seen it once before. That day. That rainy day when I got my memories back. She had the same look in her eyes when she held me. She kept saying the same thing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Kigari. I thought she was apologizing for what she'd done in the future. I thought she was apologizing for leaving me all alone. But she wasn't. The apology was only from the Mayuri Shina who lived in 2011. She was saying she was sorry for leaving me alone. That she was sorry for leaving me alone. It was about half a year later that I realized this. July 7th, 2011. The day of Tanabata. To tell the truth, I had known it was coming. I wonder why Mommy wanted me to come here. Maybe she was thinking of a surprise? Kigari whispered as she wanted it to be true. Today was July 7th, Tanabata. The lab was going to have a Tanabata party with the Tanuji family on the roof of the building. It was essentially an excuse to hold a barbecue. The sky was clear that day, so the night stars were sure to be pretty. I have to get back and keep getting ready, with Mommy's help, of course. I knew it was coming. I knew what this meant. I knew, but I pretended I didn't. I didn't want to come here. I didn't want to see this. I wanted to look away. I took one step after another towards the roof. I need to hurry. Mommy's waiting. Why now? When I opened the door, I was met with a burst of warm wind and a gentle summer twilight. The stars could already be seen twinkling in the evening sky. Mayuri was there. She was standing right next to the time machine. She had one hand on her head to keep the wind from blowing away her hat. Another reached out towards the sky. Her open hand stretched straight up towards the Akibara sky, as if she was trying to grab the brightest star. Her eyes seemed to look past the stars towards something beyond. It was so pretty. So ephemeral? And so fragile.
Mama.
Kigari didn't stop herself from crying out. Felt like if she didn't stop her, the stars would take her mother away. Ah, Kigari. Tutu.
Mama.
The tension seemed to drain from Kigari's body. Good. Mayuri was acting normal now. There was nothing to worry about. Mayuri would never leave her, ever. When Kigari ran over, Mayuri lowered her hand that she'd reached out towards the sky. What's wrong? Why did you want me to come here? Mayuri smiled, slightly embarrassed, then spun around the other way. Then she looked up at the time machine. This is what you came in, wasn't it, Kigari? Why bring that up? It's not something I... Her words caught in her throat. She realized that the time machine hatch was open. Why? Why is the time machine's hat open? Hatch. And then someone appeared from within the time machine. Kagari? Why are you... That's what I want to know. What are you two doing? Big sis Mayuri, you promised you'd keep it a secret from Kagari. I'm sorry I didn't tell you, Suzu. Mayushi wants to say goodbye to Kagari no matter what. I'll be done soon, so keep getting ready. Okay. Once we're done, get in. Suzu disappeared back inside the time machine. A secret? Goodbye? Getting ready? What are you talking about? I don't understand. She did understand. She knew exactly what was coming since she got the message from her mother. But she didn't want to accept it. She didn't want to accept that the time machine was going to tear her away from her mother again. Listen, Mayushi's about to go back to the past with Suzu. Wait, Mayuri? So that the person she loves can wake up. It's impossible. The world lines are going to converge. No matter how hard you try, you can't change them. No one can. You're right. Mayushi can't change them. But you know Ocarine can. Ocarine has the power to change the future. And even Mayushi can go back to that day and give him a little push. That day is our only chance. It won't work. The guy grabbed Mayuri's arms, but she just smiled sadly. Even if it doesn't, Mayushi wants to see him again. Oin Koma. I want to see my Hikoboshi again. Also, it's so sad that, Mayuri loves Ocarine and he loves Krisu. But she knew this was coming. Ever since the day she got her memories back, Kagari's life had been truly happy. She lived every day in a peaceful Japan with no war, and with Mayuri and the rest of the lab. Every day shone like a jewel, and she thought it would last forever. But she known what that look in Mayuri's eyes had meant. She known why even when everyone was having fun, Mayuri seemed kinda sad. What about me? What happens to me? If Uncle Ocarine does reach Steins Gate, maybe the war won't happen. And maybe a lot of people will be saved. But then I won't be able to meet you. That's not true. No matter what the future holds, I'm going to meet you. In that world, you might not be alone. You might have a happy life with your real mom and dad. But even if you do, I'll still come and see you. And then we can be really, really good friends. So you don't need to worry about a thing. You and I might forget about each other. How could you come find me if you don't remember me? It's impossible. Nope. Mayushi will know who you are. How? How can he be sure? Because that's fate. The bond between Mayushi and Kagari won't be broken by anything. So even if we lose our memories, Mayushi will come find you. Tears like pearls fell from Mayuri's eyes, but she kept smiling at Kagari anyway. For the first time, Kagari realized how strong she and Mayuri really was. She realized that even if Mayuri didn't, how tough and strong her will was. This girl, who seemed so small and fragile, believed in the power of the future more than anyone in the world. Okay, I'm gonna go too. I'm going to go. Mayuri was about to get in the time machine. She could see... Mayuri was about to go into the time machine. She could see Mayuri's legs with each shaking with each step she took up the ladder she took. She couldn't let this happen. Or it would just end up like that day in 2036. Guy couldn't take that anymore. Wait! Kagai clung to Mayuri's body. Huh? I won't let you go to the past. I'll go instead. Kagai grabbed the phone that Mayuri was holding and then pulled down on her hard. Mayuri lost her balance and fell off the ladder. And Kagai leapt inside. Kagai, are you crazy? Kagai ignored her and leaned out of the hatch to smile down at Mayuri. I'll take care of Uncle Ocarine. So just wait there. Big Sis Suza, close the hatch. You sure? Yeah. Alright. The hatch started to close. Mayuri was just staring up at Kagai in shock. Mami, I'll always love you. In the past, in the present, and in the future. And then the hatch closed. She couldn't see her beloved mother anymore. Oh, sorry. Sorry, it's just the sudden cut to deadpan expression. She wiped away the tears and sat down in the passenger seat and strapped herself in. Suza was in the main seat and grinned. I didn't think you'll be doing. I'd be doing this with you twice. We've just gone back to the first time, is all. This is nothing like the first time. You were sobbing like a baby then. You were crying a little too, Big Sis Suzuha. You're right. Let's go, Kagai, to the past. Okay. Suzuha tapped on the console and the whole seat started to shake. At the same time, a pale light began to shine from within the machine. The time travel was beginning. There's no guarantee it would work. She might never see Mayuri again. But she swore that she would make this succeed. As the daughter of Shinya Mayuri. No matter how far apart we were, that song would connect them together. And there we have it. Yet another credits. Sorry, my ear looks really cute there. So, this route was definitely Kagai focused, and I don't know. I loved the first half of it. night when it was feeling a lot like the original game. And don't get me wrong, the second half, the Kagari focus bit was neat. And, you know, it's interesting. It's definitely a lot more light-hearted and uplifting ending than the first one we got. And it's interesting how the first one's answers applied to some questions that picked up here and vice versa. And there's still a lot left unanswered. Oh, new wallpaper? Interesting. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Bye! An abbreviation of Large Hadron Collider, which is an experimental device used to cause charged particles to collide and study the results. Built by CERN and located 100 meters below the ground in Geneva, Switzerland, it is the world's largest ring-shaped particle accelerator. Its total length is 27 kilometers. Many different teams, including one from Japan, use the device to perform experiments. The reason it's a ring is that when charged particles pass through the electromagnetic field, the Lorentz force causes them to bend.